What is up, everybody? Happy Friday to you. We made it. We made it. I hope that you are all doing well today. If you haven't caught up on my other videos and my live streams, check those out. You're going to get real and raw on this channel. You may see me look nice. You may see me look crappy. But no matter how you see me looking, I'm coming with nuggets. I'm coming with things that people should be thinking about in a very broad way. So hit the like and subscribe button if you dig content like this, because again, I definitely know that my YouTube channel is being suppressed because they don't want people to see pragmatic stuff. They want you guys inflamed with all the demonism stuff. But I caught this blog that was just posted by O'Shea Duke Jackson on the Celebrity Junk channel. And he is talking about this black British woman says she only started dating black men once she moved to America because in the UK she isn't desired or considered pretty. Okay. And this young lady is about my complexion, and she is gonna tell us kind of why she feels this way.
Hey, quickly before I go out, the girlies want to know if black British women are not dating black British men. Who are they dating? The answer is we're dating white guys. Both my ex-boyfriends in the UK were white. I'll tell you the type of white, like liberal
And
white
this is
men.
just
Like if
fair
you watch
usage.
Love is Blind UK, Benaya, I was dating Benayas, and dating Benayas was great. They treat you very well compared to my other option, which was not dating at all, because the black men in my circles weren't checking for me. They were very much exclusively only dating white women, and they let me know. And to the black men that I did date, some of them had internalized racism. So there was things about my blackness they didn't like. So, for example,
Okay, so it's interesting the mindsets of how she's explaining the mindsets of black men in the UK. They bow to white supremacy. They bow to white supremacy, right? And not only do they bow to white supremacy, they actually feel that they elevate themselves in that white supremacy system, or even make themselves safer by dating and aligning with white women versus black women. So in those men's eyes, in their nation, in the UK, their women are inferior, right? And white women are superior. But if you contrast that to the mindsets of black men in this nation, I do believe that black men have more of an affinity. Most black men have a more of affinity to black women because we kind of go through an identical struggle. And in this society, black men are sort of the lowest denominator, even when it comes to black women, right? So black men, they're going to feel lower denominator even if they align with a white woman. And because have all been indoctrinated with these white supremacist structures and have been afflicted by the white supremacist schemes, black men aren't running to white women. They don't trust white women. There's been a history between black men and white women that is constantly being perpetuated and reminded of black men. So no, they don't run to white women, because they don't bow to the notion of white supremacy like these guys in the UK tend to do.
for example, I'm not seen as attractive in the UK. Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I'm all right, but I led with my personality
She's
more
very beautiful. She's a very beautiful brown skinned young lady.
because I just didn't think I had the looks, and it was black men telling me that I didn't have the looks.
My
Now,
husband
I
had
will
no.
tell you this. I've had to deal with the colorism of black men growing up. And I think, I don't I think colorism has always been perpetuated in the Black American community in little colorful ways. Just because, I think it goes back to slavery, right? The lighter slaves were better treated. A lot of them were products of the slave master. So, they had a privilege, a lighter privilege, the perception of being better looking than darker slaves. And so, I think, over time, that colorism sort of still sort of perpetuated amongst the minds of black people because there was a track record, a history, a pattern of lighter complected even blacks being treated better than darker complected blacks, and that went to some of these lighter complexion people's head. And so when you talk about pretty privilege or light skin privilege, and you think about the fact that something like a brown paper bag club actually existed in this country amongst black people, you do kind of understand, the colorism and how certain individuals, even in a respective group, will be very discriminatory against certain people of certain complexions.
My life has been from black British men. So I remember I dated a black guy and he wouldn't like it if I took off my wigs at night to sleep. He wanted me to sleep with my wig on because he didn't like my 4C hair. And I would date like white guys, like liberal white guys that, at times would, when I'm too tired, would take my wig off for me and put it on a wig stand and brush it out. So, yeah, I think that black British women have decided to just go where we're wanted and where we're adored. And if that's white men, it's white men. And love is love and be happy.
And
But yeah,
and when you listen to somebody explaining their love life, their dating life like this, and when you see a woman like this actually with a white man being happy and content, versus the option of not being happy and content with somebody that may deep down not like her, not feel that she's pretty or beautiful or anything, or who can't appreciate her uniqueness and beauty, it becomes like more of a hateful thing for that person than anything that this person is doing, because now they're just choosing happiness. People want companionship. When you think about when God created Adam, it wasn't Adam who decided that it was not good for him to be alone and not have companionship. It was his God, because God understands that people need like some level of companionship, right? And so, I kind of feel her on certain levels because I've had, black men tell me, "You're really cute for a dark-skinned woman." And it's just like, what does that mean? I really didn't even appreciate and even love my complexion until I was much older, like close to in my 30s. Like, I never felt like I was pretty. I always kind of measure myself, in a scheme of prettiness, of all the other women that could be prettier than me. So I had to like, okay, you got the light skinned women, you got the white women, you got the Hispanic women, you got these exotic Asian women. And I've always kind of like had that feeling, up until like my late 20s that like, when it comes to the schemes of beautiful, like I'm more on a lower denominator because I'm darker complected, you know, complexion. And, it takes a while to, and that is it's a self-hate that is not necessarily manufactured within the person. It's actually a consequence of what they're receiving from environments about them, right? And so, do I think that I'm ugly and stuff like that? No, I think that I'm a pretty average person. I'm no prettier or less prettier than the next woman. But, you know, society creates, self-hate a lot of times because there are these standards, there's these measurements, there's these reoccurring themes of what is pretty. When I was in school, the light-skinned girls were always the covenant ones. The light-skinned girls with the long hair or the ambiguous looking girls, and the dark skinned ones weren't. So, OJ goes into this conversation about black men, loving black women and appreciating black women. And this British woman is being excited because, when she came to America, black men were giving her attention and time and stuff like that. But it's like, here's the thing, she's not used to that, right? But black women are used to that. Yes, we are, right? But now we're kind of talking about the quality of man and what kind of attention is he really giving, right? Because if it's just a matter of no black man was checking for me before I came to America, then obviously, she's excited about the fact that when she comes to America, at least black men are interested in their black women, right? They're not like these British dudes over there who they look at their women as inferior, it seems, according to her rendition, right? So that is just to say that, I mean, her story, her account is
I
very
noticed, and we
interesting.
kind of all noticed that, like, a lot of black men in the UK have a preference, and it's not us. But since moving to America, I've only ever dated black men, and I want to thank, again, America. Sorry to be up here, but I didn't think I was cute until I moved here. Like, oh
You're
my God,
beautiful,
I get
girl.
approached by
She's
black men
gorgeous.
here,
She's
and
so
I get to date
gorgeous.
black men here for the first time in my adult life. I'm dating black men.
And here's the thing. A lot of black women, I don't feel like white men is the preference. You'll hear a lot of black men who are just those angry black men type dudes, or whatever, that feel like they have some ownership of all black women, or whatever. You hear, some of them say like, okay, you run to Zaddy, you do this, you guys are praying for a white man. Most black women, at least the ones that I know, they don't want a white man. They want to find a together, sound in mind, self controlled black man to be with. Most black women, they want to have a black man. They want to find somebody of kind to build and exist with, right? But again, the pickings aren't very high amongst our brothers because some of them are defected. Many of them are defected. They know they're defected, and they want people to take them as is. And unfortunately, if you're a woman who has striven to, you've made strive to, get yourself together and organize yourself, you don't want those types of liabilities, you know and again, it's up to everybody to do something different to change the trajectory of their lives, right? And knowledge is always going to be power. A lot of our brothers need to unplug and get into some real books and develop a skill and knowledge base where they can be a subject matter expert and a commodity to the market, right? Some of these brothers aren't doing that. My thing is, no, I will not enable some 40-year-old dude, who hasn't got his stuff together. And some of these dudes are probably the ones inclined to holler at her, making her feel special, right? Not saying all of them are like that, but I'm just saying, black men will make you feel special, especially some of those hobo lover ones, right? That don't got much going for them. They will spit the best game all day. They got the best game and the best pipe game, some of them, because, they're hobo lovers. They ain't trying to be that dude that's gonna be out there working and trying to build something so that he can protect an idea of a woman and a family. Like, these dudes aren't on that, right? So careful, girl, because yes, they will be on your
Yeah,
pretty
it's
ass.
nice to be adored by your own kind,
It is
and
nice to
that's
be
never really
adored by your
happened
own
for
time.
me in
And
the
here's the
UK.
thing, I've never had an issue with black men being attracted to me. I've never had an issue with black men. I've never had an issue with men being attracted to me, right? I think as I got older, that's how I really realized that, like, I can't be that ugly or not that attractive because, I've had men like genuinely attracted to me, like not on some over sexual thing either. So, um, I just feel like, where was I going with this? I do think though that being attract with black women, finding black men to be attracted to them and wanting them. I don't really think that's the argument. It's really black women want to find black men to align with, that they can grow with, build with, sustain with, have some sense of community, of family with, right? And there's not a lot of black men that affords that to us. So, and again, it's that choice of being lonely or finding happiness. And some black women, they're like, I choose happiness, and they're going outside of the race. It's not the fact that they're fighting and chasing for zaddy, they're actually just wanting stability. And if they can't find a quality black man to do that in a certain amount of time, they are going to pivot to somebody who will. And if that happens to be a white, Puerto Rican, Asian dude, then that's kind of where some sisters resolve. And, you know, it's really not to any man who is not ready to make a commitment to a woman in the first damn place to say anything about that, right? That's my take on it. But I pray that this sister finds herself a nice brother and they can build and grow together, right? I wish that for all people, right? I don't date. I'm not really interested in dating. I don't even think that really aligning with another human romantically is like my particular purpose, because I'm more of a minister. Like, I'm not minister like minister, but I'm more like, I rather just focus on ministries and enlightening people and not being distracted with anything outside of my obligations at home, my career, and my ministry, right? And if my Father in heaven aligns me with somebody or deems someone worthy to be my protector on this earth, then I will follow, him and my holy brothers. But until then, it's not a huge priority for me, right? But if it is a priority for you, I definitely recommend you, understand God's word on making unions with other people, understanding, what type of things that you want in a person, and what your expectations is, not running with selfishness, understand being reasonable, right? About economic factors, money habits, home economics, all of that stuff plays an important role in finding an amicable mate, and most importantly, spiritual alignment. If you got people who do not have any accountability to God, and God is divorced from their relationship or their union, unfortunately, they're going to have problems. It's never really going to work out because people are running on self centeredness. So check out Ephesians chapter 5, verses 6. Read the entire chapters, with your mate, and see if you guys are congruent with those scriptures, right? See if you all are congruent with the orders of relationships and the household in general. And if you're not, pray and get in line with the divine order of a union. So that's all I got. The great story. What else did she have?
Okay. And a lot of dark skinned women feel that way because, like I said, the type of a lot of black men in the UK is white women or racially ambiguous, and I am neither. So yeah, we're dating white guys. Yeah, love is love. Date who you want. All right, I'm going out. Have a good.
So she's saying that white guys were her resort because she was not attractive to the black men in the UK. And again, her story is very telling about the mindsets of the men in the UK. I would not be interested in dating men from the UK. They seem very weak. They seem very, very weak in their position. It's like your best bet is to take a gamble on a black American man, because at least you're going to get a lion. At least you're going to get somebody with maybe your probabilities of having a man with a little chops is going to be higher. You're going to get one of them lions from Judah. So anyways, you guys have a wonderful day, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye.